Welcome back, everyone, to NYU Grads Daily Podcast. It is Thursday after market hours. It's about 8 o'clock New York time. Lot to cover today. I'm going to try to do it under 15 minutes. No guarantees. So let's take a look at breadth real quick. We had 510 new highs versus 161 new lows. So new highs outpaced new lows by almost 4x, 4.5 times. So that's bullish. We had 68% of shares advancing versus 26% of shares declining. When you take a look at the moving averages, 32% are under the 50-day and 35% are under the 200 after the close on Thursday. Looking at the complexion, is pretty one-sided to the upside with pockets of weakness here, and those pockets of weakness are important ones, which I'll cover. But when you take a look at the Dow, we closed up at the high. The Dow was up 242 points, or 0.64%. When you take a look at the NASDAQ, it was up 28 points, or 0.18%. And you take a look at the S&P 500, it was up 25 points, or roughly about 0.5%. I would say that if you told me I have 10 seconds left to tell you what happened today or stood out today, for me, it was the fact that the Dow outperformed NVIDIA. That's right. And that's a problem. That's a very big problem because NVIDIA has taken the place of the bull impulse in the market right now. And when you take a look at what performed in the Dow, it was companies like IBM, Dow Chemicals, Caterpillar, Walgreens, the pharmaceutical retailer, and 3M, the sticky tape industrial manufacturer. Then you had Chevron and Verizon and Procter and Gamble, all up between 2 and 9%. So to me, that tells me that there's a lot of rotation going on, trying to avoid risk, when the Dow is the biggest percentage gainer across the peer versus its peers. And when you have NVIDIA, who, if you take a look at the chart that I will share on the show notes, it basically is showing NVIDIA in relation to all of the other Mag 7s from January the year 2021 to today. What you will see is a drastic, from November 2022 to today. What you will see is a drastic outperformance by NVIDIA and Meta, and the underperformance of Tesla. Take a look at that chart. And then when you take a look at across its peers in semiconductor land, you take a look at the entire basket or bucket of semiconductor chips, the SOX index, versus NVIDIA, AMD, ASML, and Lam Research. NVIDIA is up more than anyone. So where I'm going with this is that when you have NVIDIA barely up and very weak into the close, and you have the Dow 30 beating NVIDIA, that causes some concern. Taking a look at the sectors, almost every sector was green except for consumer cyclical, but energy, utilities, and communication services led with real estate. Tech, finance were the laggards of the green sectors. So that's another thing to watch. And the reason why I'm saying this is, right, like I'm going to go through a whole list of things that were up very big today, but this is the job, right? You want to look for divergences, right? It's one thing to just go, all bullish and ride the trend, that's fine. But if there's a market turn, you have to start to look for clues on when it's going to turn. So that's what I'm doing every day. I'm playing detective. So that really stood out to me today. Another thing that was notable, which I will also share, I already did on Substack Notes, but there was an excellent follow-up interview by Adam Taggart on Thoughtful Money on Substack and YouTube. This was a follow-up to a month-old interview of Doomberg talking about peak oil. So this is a follow-up debate between Doomberg and you may have heard of his name, Adam Rosen. I can't pronounce the last name. Adam Rosenwag. And he is a well-known analyst as well in all things oil, natural gas. So take a look at that video. I thought it was great. It was very even weighted to both sides. There was no shouting matches. They were both very intelligent in their perspectives with data. I highly enjoyed it. They always do a great job there at Thoughtful Money. So I will post and embed that video into the show notes. And again, there's lots of strength everywhere today. I'm going to go specifically with individual tickers, but the weakness was where it matters most. NVIDIA, Apple, Tesla, and financials were so-so. So what worked to the upside? Let's go through those, right? I don't want to be pigeonholed as a doom and gloomer. So you had Marathon Digital, Bitcoin related, up almost 4%. Beazer Homes up 3.6. Birkenstocks, the sandal company, up 3.5. VinFast Autos up 3.5. Uber up 3.5. Netflix up 3.14 again. TriPoint Homes up 3.1. Instacart up 2.98. Lennar up 2.7. Pulte Homes up 2.7. Oil up 2.6. This is all percentage, by the way. Adobe 2.65. Kinross 2.58. ASML, the chip manufacturer, 2.57. Bitfarms, BITF up 2.4. CarMax up 2.4. USO, which is oil, up 2.4. The VIX was up 2.3, which is not good. KB Homes up 2.3. Toll Brothers Housing Related up 2.3. GDXJ Gold Miner Juniors up 2.26. ITB Home Builders Index up 2.2. Klaviyo up 2.1. Google up 2.13. And Lam Research up 2. So a lot of things are up, okay? But still, those takeaways are still glaring at me. Tesla down 12.13% to the downside. Kava down 4.08. DRV, which is bearish real estate, down 3.7. PayPal down 3.67. Carvana down 2.45. ARM Holdings down 2.4. MongoDB down 2.39. Zoom, the conferencing company, down 2.35. Rivian down 2.2. Uranium down 1.93. And then after hours, Visa reported they were off 2.5% last time I checked. I'm not sure where they are now, but Visa is an important name. Let's see how that opens up tomorrow on Friday. My message here is pay off your credit cards, folks. They're charging 20% plus on average interest. Just pay it off. If you have to sell some stocks, just pay it off. Let's see. I also post the slides from the investor relations conference call there with a link. Then you had also after hours Intel. Now Intel reported it was pretty bearish after hours, and it kind of took down the futures market markedly, and the all the short positions for semiconductor or inverse / bearish ETFs for semiconductors went flying higher. So that's also something to watch for on my phone in real time here. It's trading at what the last trade was at $44.28. So down pretty big after hours. So that's going to impact the market on Friday. But I continue to urge everyone to keep an eye out for Jan 31, the last day of the month. They'll be announcing their Fed rate decision on this month if they're going to cut, and I'm sure the dot plot will come out with potential survey analysis of where everyone on the Fed board thinks rates should go. I think that's really the only game in town. Watch the banks because they're going to be extra sensitive to the Fed rate decision. They're going to need lower rates because they have so much paper on their books. Higher rates is not that good. I know it's kind of counterintuitive because they're also going to make more interest rate on credit cards and mortgages, but they also have a lot of paper on the back end as well. So it's kind of like oxygen. The higher the rates are, the less oxygen the banks have. So they're hoping for a rate decision to the downside as well. Keep watching yields. And that's really the majority of what I wanted to cover today. Let's keep it moving into Fridays, but keep watching NVIDIA and the semiconductors as well. And I'll see you all after the Friday session. All right, bye.